It's January, the time of year where droves of people are making their New Year's resolutions, and that usually means making another futile attempt to start working out again. Lose that bit of extra weight they've packed on over the holidays, let alone before that, only to eventually fail after a couple of weeks and give the gym free money for the rest of the year. But what about you? You've been going to the gym for a while now, consistently for months if not years. You've hit your stride, felt the ecstatic feeling of seeing progress, improving your physique, confidence, discipline, and perhaps many other areas of your life. But as time goes on, something begins to happen. That passion, that drive you once had has begun to fade. You tell yourself that you have other, more important priorities now, but do you? Do you really? Let me tell you my story. My journey started in 2013, after my first year of uni. I had never really planned on going to the gym, but I just happened to tag along with a bunch of my friends who were going at the time. More of a fear of missing out thing. I had no idea what I was doing. The more experienced 2 or 3 would tell the rest of us to bugger off and do their routine, and that would leave me with maybe another to wander around doing random things. I remember just casually going on every single machine each session, just for jokes really. Summer ended, and some of those friends left London to go back to their uni campuses, and that left a vacant spot for me to start training with a friend more experienced. For the next 8 months, I was on it. Like even to this day, nothing even came close to the intensity and enthusiasm I had for working out. And it was towards the end of this period where I put on tons of size and probably had my best physique ever. I think personally, especially compared to the average gym goer, I probably worked way harder and was a much stronger responder to weight training. My routine for the next 2 years was more or less the same. Went to different gyms, had different buddies, and I could slowly feel the plateau and decline with regards to my enthusiasm, showing its head. I had heard many things about the benefits of going, especially psychologically. In my mind, I honestly thought the changes would be revolutionary, from being that skinny, nerdy, socially awkward teen to a super confident, Chad-like character. The thing was, nothing seemed to change much at all. I still felt the same, acted the same, my interests remained the same. I look better, sure, but looking back, and the first bit of wisdom I'll depart with in this video, is that the gym is only one small part of a larger puzzle. It may work wonders for some, but for those with much more ingrained, deep-rooted traits or issues at the time, it simply wasn't enough to achieve all I'd hoped. From roughly around the end of 2016, and for the foreseeable future, it was quite patchy. Days, if not weeks, taken off going, making excuses, and telling myself I had other priorities in life now, and to focus on those. Looking back, it was all bullshit, of course. I still maintained a somewhat respectable physique and a baseline level of strength, but every attempt to start the engine again would just result in more stalling. I would tell myself, and I'm still guilty of this till this day even, that even if I take my foot off the gas, I have built a strong enough foundation that I could easily get back to where I once was without any significant effort. I suppose that's a good thing from a physical standpoint, but mentally it's what makes you complacent and lazy. Furthermore, telling myself things like work, socialising with friends, trying to pursue relationships and so on were more important now, and working on these other areas of my life directly would fix more of my issues than gym ever would. It would almost seem like I resented it at times for not giving me what I'd hoped. It wasn't until around 2021 where I became aware of the whole self-improvement movement online, and quite frankly, it was at this point where I realised I had it all wrong. Going to the gym wasn't a magic bullet that would magically solve all my issues. It was more to do with the attitude that going consistently instills inside you. I'll probably make a more detailed video on this later on down the line, but in a nutshell, and this is the take-home message I suggest you ingrain into your mind, it's not the gains that get you places, It's the consistency. Doing something hard, something that you may not feel like doing, something that you may not see immediate results in. These are the core behaviours that going consistently are supposed to instill inside you, that you can apply to other fundamental areas of your life and allow you to excel. It sounds a bit wishy-washy, but I think very few people have actually phrased it like that I've ever come across. Sure, there are a bunch of other things too, but this video isn't geared towards the purely physical aspects. Now that I've told you this, and perhaps you understand a little better, but realistically, is it going to make a difference to you? Maybe it isn't what you were expecting to hear. Perhaps there was a tangible, measurable action that you may have been expecting to get instead. After all these things mentioned are easier said than done. So at the very least, I'll leave you with what things helped me with this, and a cliche answer, but honestly, the best one was to have someone that you go with that holds you accountable. A gym buddy who perhaps at that given moment is more motivated and enthusiastic than you are. Someone who drags you out of your house and stops you from indulging in lazy habits. Someone who you can compete with in some regard and therefore pushes you to do more. Before you know it, you'll be in the swing of things again like you're second nature. Aside from practical advice like this, the rest is mental. Do you still want to achieve something? Maintain something? Stand out from your peers at later stages in life? Perhaps rekindle those intentions you went in with when you first started, but with the added wisdom and manage expectations that come with age. And for all those reasons mentioned prior, this is probably why you should never really stop. At the very least, maintain a form of schedule or routine going forward, for the sake of discipline, longevity, and all the other things you can think of. Just think back to how all these behaviours can impact other areas of your life, and how they can change or improve them. As I mentioned earlier, it won't directly solve all your issues, especially deeply ingrained mental roadblocks, and make all your hopes and dreams come true overnight, but it sure is the easiest and most obvious starting point. And as many say, a strong healthy body is a strong healthy mind. Once you have the foundation set here, it makes the rest seem a lot more attainable in reality. If you like the video, please leave a like and subscribe if you can. I'll be making more going forward. Specifically, interesting issues or thoughts many guys may have going forward in life, and a retrospective take on such topics, and perhaps depart on some wisdom for the younger ones of you out there.